Hello guys and girls, and welcome to the week 1 match of season 8 of the Global Battle Association. Yes, it's finally here. We had wait a long time till the new season of GBA starts, and now we're finally here. Week 1 is starting and we are facing off against Tom and his San José Sharpedos. And if you actually remember, that was the exact same matchup we had last season in the GBA. He was once again in another conference, and he was once again our week, or he was again our week 1 matchup. So, in that, we managed to win with the same pretty deciding win. Not really score-wise, because in the end he got an unfortunate crit, which made like a 5-0 to a 3-0, I think. But you can check that video out for that. But this is a new season, completely new draft, so we can't really rely on repeating that. Tom has a very threatening draft around Z Landers and all this good stuff. But either way, talking about the matchup and all this good stuff, of course I uploaded a team builder yesterday, so you can check that out, where I talk more about all the mons Tom has, what I think he will bring, what are the biggest threats, what did I bring to counter those, and what my game plan is going into this. Link to that in the description was uploaded yesterday. Check that out if you want to know more. But for those who don't have the time for that, we have an Assault Scizor Black, Flyum Z Yanmega, Special Defensive Tapu Fini, Physical Defensive Cobra Berry Shaman. Then we have a physically defensive Rocky Helmet Cobalion and Choice Scarfed Crocodile. So before we go look at the whole battle and Tom's team, not teams Tom, the usual shoutouts at the beginning of the match. Of course, shoutout to Johnny GB for genning this team for me. Like you probably know, I'm not a breeder. I'm way too lazy for that. I get my mons gent, and Johnny GB was kind enough to do that for me, since I do not have the ability to do that, and he traded mods over for me. So definitely check him out. He was a good genner, a good recorder, very reliable guy in the ICPA as well. So yeah, definitely give him a look. And shout out to the Word as well for recording this match for me. Like you should know probably as well, I do not own an own capture card. That's why I do these postcom. Other people record them for me, send them over to me, and then we have this video right here where I can narrate over the match. So shout out to the Word. The Word, not the Word. God damn it, I can't pronounce it properly. Either way, he's an analyst as well. He does the power rankings, so you probably know him already if you are affiliated with the GBA. But either way, this stuff will be in the description as well, so you can check that out too. And yeah, these are the usual shoutouts. Let's go into team preview, looking what Tom brought. He brought the Landorus, the Swallow, the Houndoom, the Diancie, the Scizor, and the Rotom. It's of course Mega Houndoom, not regular Houndoom. So, basically what I expected. He brought the Swallow, which is annoying, but he did brought the Roserade, which is good as well. Like, Roserade, Swallow were kind of threats I couldn't fully prepare for. Landorus was for sure there, like, there's no doubt about that. Same with Mega Houndoom. Diancie had a very good matchup defensive-wise, as a lot of my team. Scizor, I was sure would come, and Rotom as well. So, yeah, like I said, Swallow, Roserade, they could have been traded out with each other, but the rest I pretty much called. But, yeah, what I expect from this? Landorus most likely is the setup mon. I have to scout if it's Rock Polish or Soil Sense or even Double Dance. That's going to be an important part in the game. Swallow, most likely going to be Choice Specs Boomburst. There is a chance it could be the physical variant as well, but I think Boomburst does better versus my team. Then Mega Houndoom, I mean, Mega Houndoom doesn't have too many options. It's probably Nasty Plot, Sludge Bomb, Fire Blast, and Pursuit, I want to say, because Pursuit is very nice to Pursuit Trap my Mega Gengar. Then Diancie. It's a toss-up if it's physically or special defensive. Physical defensive would help more versus stuff like my Kyurem. Special defensive would help better with stuff like my Yanmega. It's definitely gonna be defensive. Gonna have Diamond Storm, Moonblast, Stealth Rocks most likely. Last move, I don't know. There's like Earth Power. It could run some hidden power. And then Scizor. I have to scout a bit more as well. Could be Aqua Berry to take hidden power fires from my Kyurem and retaliate back with a Bullet Punch. Could be Assault Dash just taking general hits from Kyurem and then attack back with the Bullet Punch. Or it could just be Choice Banded Swords and something like that. Rotom, it's gonna be defensive, I can tell that. It might actually be Choice Scarfed as well, seeing that, like, I don't think he would bring Choice Scarfed Swallow, because most of his damage is reliant on the Choice Spec. So it could be Choice Scarfed Rotom, actually, if like tricking my Shaman and all this good stuff. Or it could be a more defensive variant. Physical defensive is good with my Cobalion and my Crocodile. Special defensive is kind of good for Kyurem, I want to say, but I think more physically defensive going into this match. And yeah, that's basically the whole team. Looking at that team, I'm definitely leading out with my Kyurem, because I have a good matchup versus everything on this team, barring the Scizor. Landorus, I am faster, barring his Choice Scarf. His Choice Scarf, he can kill me, so he would have to U-turn out, and I can just kill it with Ice Beam. Swallow, I'm Assaulted, I can take any hit, kill it with Ice Beam. The Houndoom, I can take any hit because I Assault Test, and I can do a lot of damage with either Earth Power or Fusion Bolt. Diancie, I have Iron Head for. It probably can, if it's physically defensive, it can take a hit, or if it has a Baby Berry, it can take the hit, but either way, I can 2-hit KO it, and of course, there's the chance for the flinch. Scizor, like I said, the only one I don't have a good matchup versus, I would switch out in my Cobalion with that, and Rotom, I don't mind either, because I've installed this, I can take any hit, and I can do a lot of damage to it versus the Earth Power. So I'm just gonna lead with my Kyurem, and we are gonna check what Tom decides to lead with versus us. First week of the GBA is starting now, and we are challenged by Pokemon Trainer Tom. And like you can see here, I sent out Jeff, the Kyurem Black. Big Papa is on the field, and he sends out his Centerfold, which turns out to be the Landorus. Like I said already, like the Intimidate goes first for the Terravolt, and this tells me already one big thing. One big thing tells me is that because Intimidate can go for Terravolt, he is faster than my Kyurem, and the only way he can be faster than my Kyurem is if he is Choice Scarf, and that is very nice knowledge. I'm very happy to see that. I was so scared of a setup C Landorus, that's why I have to Cold Barrier on Shame and be physical defense and all this good stuff, but him being Choice Scarf is way easier to deal with. Of course, he's faster, he can revenge kill stuff more easily, but he's not sweeping me as long as I keep my Shaman or my Mega alive, because Mega of course is immune to Earthquake. So, since I know that he's Choice Scarf and I can take a Stone Edge if he tries to go for that, I just go for the Ice Beam right here because it does reliable damage to anything, barring the Scizor. And if he goes to Scizor, we have a good switch into Cobalion and we can find out what kind of Scizor is. Is it offensive? Is it assault? There's all this good stuff. Either way, I'm just taking Ice Beam right here, and he decides actually to Hard Switch right here. I was very confused right here because if he's Choice Scarf, he would go for U-turn right here. Either way, he does Hard Switch into his Diancie. I will play this turn out after that. We'll pause and talk more about the Landorus Hard Switching. Go for Ice Beam, does around this amount of damage, and now we pause it again. So, Landorus did Hard Switch out, didn't go for U-turn, and that made me very confused, because he was Choice Scarf from the turn of abilities. And I, right here, because he Hard Switched, I was thinking, okay, does the order of abilities still decide the speed? Is it like because Intimidate, like just Intimidate goes in order, and then Terravolt has like a different priority? Like, if you have 2 Intimidate users, the faster one goes first, the slower one next, and then Terravolt is like in a different category because of a different ability. I was very confused out here, and I tried to do some research here and there when I had time in the battle to find out if it's actually Choice Scarf, is that confirmed Choice Scarf or not. So yeah, keep that in mind. Like I said, I'm like 70%, 80% sure it's Choice Scarf, but just because he Hard Switched, I was a bit confused and I was not very sure anymore. Either way, he does go into his Diancie right here, and from this Ice Beam damage, I can tell that he is, wait, what is he? He's mixed defensive. He's not fully special defensive, but he's not fully physical defensive either. He is mixed defensive from that, I think. I'm not quite sure, but either way, from this, I can definitely KO him with the Iron Head, and if he's a Baby Berry, I can still 2-hit KO him. Earth Power is a 2-hit KO as well. Since he shows no item, I'm very sure it's Baby Berry, but since I could go for Earth Power 2-hit KO him, not showing the Iron Head still has the chance to flinch. There's a 40% chance that he's not like getting his Moonblast, Diamond Storm, Rocks Up, whatever he has. I can take any hit since I'm assault tested, and I do just decide to go for the Iron Head right here. May for flinch, hoping it's not Baby Berry. Like you can see, he is the Baby Berry, so that move is weakened, and he can take that very easily and decides to go for his Death Rocks. So still, no damage on Kyurem, which is very nice. Right here, I do not want to go for Iron Head again, because Rotom is a very nice switch in, and he is in range of an Earth Power. Oh, it's a roll from here. So I do decide to go for the Earth Power right here in case it's the Rotom, which he actually does. It is Heavy Load, which turns out to be the Rotom. And now we can see what kind of Rotom this is. We go for the Earth Power, get some good damage on that, and that does around 50%. A little bit less, of course, leftovers. Let me pause that again, what tells me this. So, this Rotom is not fully physically defensive, because if it's fully physically defensive, Earth Power would have been easy to KO. It does like 60 to 70%, something around that area. But since it does only 50%, that tells me he's at least a little bit Spadef. He's some kind of Spadef on this Rotom, and like you could see, this Earth Power did probably around 50% because it got into yellow and then leftovers got it over yellow, so he's at maximum 56% right here. Maybe a little bit less if like did more than 50% with the Earth Power. Either way, from that, I couldn't tell his, because of rolls, I can't tell his full spread from that. Like there's some variants of Spadef Rotom he could run which take that much damage. So I can't tell if I can kill from Earth Power right here, but I was feeling lucky right here since he can't really hurt me too much because of my Assault Vest. If he burns me, that's too big of a problem. The only thing that would hinder me is an Iron Head, and the only thing I need to Iron Head was the Diancie, and he's already in range of Earth Power. So I don't mind getting burned. So I just decide to go for second Earth Power here, try to get the roll on the Rotom, and potentially killing it. Like you can see here, my Jeff actually comes through and does not kill the Rotom. God damn it, that got a low roll right here, and he does go for Pain Split, which wait, let me turn this play out, then I can talk a bit more and pause again. This Pain Split was very huge, because for once it does a lot of damage to my Kyurem. It does bring this Rotom basically back to a lot of more health than it was before. And that was an oversight on my part. I should have thought about Pain Splitting. I was more worried about Volt Switch U-Turn, Volt Switch Hydro Pump, and Volt Switch and Will-O-Wisp. There we go. That's the third one I was thinking about. Maybe Defog would of course make no sense because he only got Rocks Up and not me. So yeah, there's a bit of oversight with the Pain Split right here, and that means I have to switch out right here, because if he spams Pain Split, my Kyurem gets way too weakened. I know rocks are up, but I have a very nice defogger in Fiddy, which can defog versus the Dianes, can defog versus the Houndoom, so I can get rid of rocks and still keep this at good health to potentially take a hit from his special attackers, basically from the Rotom. Kyurem has still a great matchup in breaking some of his walls, and I can still take a Dark Pulse from the Houndoom, for example, and all this good stuff. So yeah, and he did not go for any attack with me yet, so he does not know that I'm actually Assault Vested, so that could be cool as well. Either way, I am going to switch out right here into my Shaman, which is the Mon to beat basically this Rotom 1v1, even if he's deaf. He's not beating my Shaman. Rocks go into my Shaman, and he does decide to go for the Pain Split once again right here, getting a little bit of health, I think. I still lose a little bit because I have more health. Yes. And he's basically back to full health, which is very annoying. This one turn where I didn't kill him, he did go for Pain Split, basically did bring back all the momentum into his hands before I had a lot of momentum just going for attacks with my big Papa Kyurem. But right here, I do just go for the Giga Drain. I was thinking about if I should actually go for the Earth Power, predicting the Houndoom to come in, but in the end decided to go for the safe play of Giga Drain. Thankfully, I did decide that because he did go into his Swallow, and I can get some good damage on that. And I have some health back on my Shaman. So right here, I need to talk a bit more about this turn. So, if he is physically the physical Swallow, I live the hit because I can take a Facade, and I become physically defensive and I kill with HPIs. If he goes for Brave Bird, I have the Core Barrier and I kill with HPIs. If he is special, I can take any hit as well, but I still want to, because Air Slash becomes Core Barrier once again, and Boom Burst does I think 70% to me, but I'm around 80 something, so I can still take that. And HPI is a road to kill him from here. And I used this turn actually to scout a bit more, do a bit more research on the whole ability path thing. So I did not have too much time to do every calc, sadly, on this. And my way of thinking right here was, okay, I just Synthesis, because I can take any hit, and I will be at least like 60-70%. And then I've still a good health to take on the Landorus. I do not mind losing my Cobra Barrier right here, because Landorus is Choice Scarf. Like, I'm very sure it's Choice Scarf. And you know Choice Scarf Fly, so I have no need of Cold Berry. So if he goes for Air Slash or something like that, I lose my Cold Berry. That's not too big of a deal. I just need this Shaman at good health to still take Earthquakes from the Landorus, and then like Giga Drain, HPIs, whatever. So I decided to just Synthesis right here. Scout what he wants to go for, because I don't want to lose my Shaman. I still want to keep it, because I thought if he goes for Air Slash, I can switch out into my, into my Kyurem, for example, or play from there. If he goes for Boom Burst, I can just switch to my Cobalion, which is max HP, and all this good stuff. So I decide actually go for Synthesis right here. Just scouting what set he is and what he wants to do. He does go for the Boom Burst, and from this damage, I can tell that he is definitely Choice Specs. That does way too much to my Shaman. I do go for Synthesis right here. I'm back at a decent amount of HP, but sadly not out of range of another Boom Burst. So, now that we are at this turn, I now know, okay, my plan still is intact. I can switch out into my Cobalion, now take the hit, and then go from there. But since I wasn't able to do every calc, I just figured Cobalion is at max HP, and it's max HP, it's max HP investment as well, still at full health, all this good stuff. I can take the Boom Burst as well, but as it turns out, Boom Burst from the Spec Swallow actually has a chance to 2-hit KO me after rocks. And after I saw that, I was like, shit. Damn. Something has to die right here. And looking at his team, I had a decision to make. Something dies right here. Everything is 2-hit KO'd by Boom Burst, or Shaman just dies right here. And I had to make a decision on what to sack, basically. Because I did not do every calc, because I was still researching the thing with the order of abilities. But either way, so in the end, it was a big misplay to go Synthesis right here. I should have just gone for HPIs, because that actually was a roll to kill him from there. So if I would have gone for HPIs, leaving the Boom Burst, that would have been off and getting rid of the Swallow, because Swallow is turning out to be a huge threat, because I did the calc with Kyurem, and Boom Burst kills Kyurem as well, especially since rocks are still up, and even if rocks are not up, it's a roll to kill my Saltest Kyurem. So no, it's not a roll even. I think it guaranteed kills me. So I need to get rid of the Swallow somehow, and getting the HPIs damage would have been awesome versus that guy. But either way, in the end, I decide here to sack my Shaman, because since it's Scarf Landorus, now I need to keep my Yanmega for sure alive, otherwise he can sweep me with Earthquake potentially. But I still have my Choice Scarf Crocodile, for example, which guaranteed outspeeds it. I can knock it off, make it slower than my Kyurem, and all this good stuff. So the Scarf Landorus is not as big as a threat anymore, so I think I sack my Shaman right here to the Swallow, and yeah, this Synthesis was a big misplay. The Earth Power Pain Spray was a big turn as well. It was more of me being unlucky, or potentially unlucky. I don't, of course, not know the full set of his. And this was just plain a bad play, sadly, because I would have loved to get the HP Ice right here. And since I have to get rid of the Swallow, because otherwise it's sweeping me, the only thing I have to outspeed it is my Crocodile. But he has still a lot of his mons at full health, so he can switch easily into my Crocodile. So I have to find some way of killing the Swallow, and that's why I just go right away into my Crocodile. I do not mind giving away that I'm Choice Scarf and scaring him out right here. But this is a very important turn because I decide to go for Pursuit right here, trying to get rid of the Swallow. It's basically my only way of getting rid of it. I don't have any priority on the team. The only one which outspeeds it is my Crocodile, basically to revenge kill. Knockoff will OHKO it from this range, so that he's definitely inclined to switch out right here. Boomburst does, if he decides to stay in, Boomburst does kill my Crocodile from here. So it is basically a 50-50, and I have to go for Pursuit right here, and I think that's the better way to go around to 50-50 for me at least. Because he doesn't know yet that I have Pursuit. And he definitely knows I'm Choice Scarf right here. It's very unlikely that I would bluff that right here. So, yeah. In the end, I go for Pursuit right here because I think he will switch out and Pursuit will kill him. If it stays in, of course, he will live. And I die to Pursuit. I die to Boomburst. And then the game is basically over, I want to say. Because I have nothing to outspeed this. I have nothing to I mean, Yanmega after speed was good outspeed this. And I don't think it would actually be in range of an Air Slash after Pursuit. So I still had ways around it. But this Swallow is way too big of a threat. It just gets KOs everywhere if I allow it to stay alive. So I just go for Pursuit right here, hoping he will switch out. And what would you see? He does switch out. I can go for the Pursuit. And even if he has a little HP investment, that did not show right here. He is going down. And yeah, Swallow's down. And I'm very happy. Shame it did not die for nothing. It basically did die for nothing. But in the end, Swallow still died. So I'm happy around that. Of course, he knows now that I'm Choice Scarfed, or I didn't know that before. I get my Moxie boost, I'm blocking the Pursuit. He has free switch into a lot of his mons. He decides to go into Diancie, which I was a bit confused about, because Diancie allows me to defog with my Finny. So I'm just going to switch hard into that, get his terrain up. I'm not scared of anything it wants to do, since we already know it's defensive. Even Diamond Storm, it would hit me on the weaker side, the physical side, but it still wouldn't do a lot. So he does go for Moonblast right here. Like I see with this damage, yeah, he's definitely defensive, and I decide just to defog right here, because like I said, I need to keep my Yanmega alive since that Landorus is scarfed, and for that I need Rocks gone. I do just go for defog right here. I either predict him right here to go for another Moonblast, just get damage on me, go for Diamond Storm, get more damage on me, or spam Rocks over and over again, because he knows that I will be defogging right here. All of these plays I wouldn't mind. I don't mind trading damage on my Finny for a defog, like this little damage, because even after a Diamond Storm, which would do more, I'm still out of range from a Sludge Bomb from the Houndoom. And if he spams Rocks, I'm fine with that. I spam defog, and the only thing that begins us basically is giving me leftovers back on my Finny, and I could go back to full health, which would be awesome. So yeah, I just go for defog right here, predicting to go for like Moonblast, Rocks, Diamond Storm, one of these three moves. Clear Body, of course, not allowing me to lower his evasionness. But he actually does go for Explosion. I'm very surprised by that play. I, of course, can lift that because I'm a top of Finny, and that's only Diancie, but it brings me very low. And basically, my Finny dies to everything now. So, yeah, Finny did get rid of the Rocks. The Rocker is gone as well, barring his Scarf Rocks on Landorus. So that is awesome news for my Yanmega. But, of course, my Finny is now dead to everything, and he does bring in the Hotweiler, the Mega Houndoom. And right here, I decided to just sack my Finny because it's not doing anything anymore. I don't need to defig anymore. The main reason it was here was for this Houndoom, and I'm too weak to take it on. Like, Sludge Bomb kills me. And if he doesn't have Sludge Bomb, I mean, I can take a Fire Blast from here, I can take a Dark Pulse from here. Like, I could switch it in once, but then I die to Sludge Bomb. So why keep this Finny around? I don't want to give him free setup with Nasty Block and all this good stuff, because if I would have to go into my Crocodile then, and Aqua there doesn't kill him from full range, I should have to go for Earthquake, and going for Earthquake allows him to switch into Landorus again, and he could U-turn, weaken my Yanmega, maybe predict with Stone Edge, blah blah blah. There are a lot of reasons. Basically, the main thing is I don't need my Finny anymore at this low amount of health. It's not useful to me anymore, and I just had to just go for a second and go for Scald. Do a Scald, even though I missed the terrain. Reason for that, you can find out in Team Builder. He does make out right here. I just expect my Finny to die to Sludge Bomb. But, yeah, that's basically the turn I'm expecting right here. Just go for Skull. And, yeah, he should just go Fire Blast, and he misses. So, we get Skull damage on the Houndoom, which is awesome, because now it's very low and basically can't set up versus anything anymore on my team, which is awesome. Talking about a bit more about the RNG of the miss. The miss didn't matter because Fire Blast wouldn't have killed him from this range either way. He just predicted me there to go into my Cobalion, I guess, because otherwise this play wouldn't make sense. He does have the Search like you can see, so he had no need to go for Fire Blast right here. But I gotta say, the prediction to me going into Cobalion is fair, because that was I was thinking about a lot of the time. But, yeah, was like thinking about switching into Cobalion, but in the end, Finny was way too weak to keep around, so I did decide second. Right here, I do want to make Crocodile to Revenge Killer right here. My only other mon I could Revenge Killer potentially with is my Yanmega, but that means I would have to go for Protect, and he gets a free switch into something, and I don't have Rocks up, so I don't want that. So I think my Crocodile is the best answer. I am gonna decide to play a little bit around with RNG right here, because I decide to go for Aqua Tail, which, if it gets the return miss, is like, I guess, kind of fair, but it would be devastating to me getting rid of my Crocodile. But for the low chance that he decides to go into his Landorus on my Prick Earthquake right here, then I want to go for Aqua Tail. Knockoff is sadly a roll from here, and the roll is it's in my favor, but it's more than 10% to not kill. So in the end, I have a chance of not killing with Knockoff than I have with missing with Aqua Tail. So I decided to go for Aqua Tail right here. And he does stay in. I hit my Aqua Tail, and we get rid of the Hot Rival, which is awesome, because after Finny was down, I basically didn't have anything for this, barring like the Surprise Assault, there's Kyurem, which couldn't take a Fire Blast anymore, only Dark Pulses. So yeah, I take my Moxie boost right here. And now I'm +1 Aqua Tail Crocodile. The only thing you can basically go into here right here is the Rotom, because everything else would take way too much damage. Scizor takes way too much, and Landorus, I think, takes way too much as well. So I do switch out right here into my Kyurem, actually, because, yeah, it takes any hit, takes the Volt Switch, takes the Hydro Pump. If he goes for Will-O-Wisp, I don't mind that as well. If he goes for Pain Split, I actually get health back this time, so that is awesome. He does decide to go for the Hydro Pump, which is cool, because that means he doesn't get momentum. And I just go for an Earth Power right here, because looking into this endgame, I either win with my Crocodile spamming Knockoff, or I win with my Yanmega. And for both of these, I need to weaken this Rotom, and thankfully he does stay in. I get his Bedef drop, which of course didn't matter, because he does like he will go for Volt Switch right here. But now, his whole team is weakened. The only thing I need to weaken a little bit more to sweep with both of my mons is the Scizor, and I have to find out what kind of Scizor this is. And he does actually switch out into it right here. And this gives me a chance for one, get a little bit chip on that for my either Crocodile or Yanmega sweep, or with the Rocky Helmet on my Cobalion, and with the damage I will be getting from it, scout out what kind of Scizor it is, because it's a Salt Test. The chances of my Yanmega sweeping are very low, and I need to put my axe basically in the Crocodile basket. From this damage, I can tell though that he is actually Choice Banded, and that is awesome news. I mean, it's bad because that means it does like over 50% to my Yanmega, so I am 2-hit KO'd, so that means I have to wear down a bit more, but it means as well that my moves from Yanmega will do a lot more damage to this thing, because not Assault Test or Aqua Barrier and all this good stuff. Right here, since I know he's locking the Bullet Punch and he doesn't want to stay in, I have two plays I can do back here. I can go for Volt Switch, gain momentum, which wouldn't work sadly if he goes on Landorus, which is a viable switch. I could go for HP Fire, but how likely is that he's staying in? And if he goes into the Landorus, I don't get much damage on it, and I would have to switch into it, which is a pain because Earthquake kills everything, barring Yanmega, and Yanmega dies to a Stone Edge. So he has, and if he goes for utility, he just gets momentum. I could go for Rocks as well to like get some more chips on mons, but his mons are already a lot weakened. I don't need much damage on the Landorus, because just the offensive assault of Yanmega and Crocodile together will kill it. Either I get first damage with Crocodile and then kill Yanmega, or the other way around. So I actually decide right here to not do any of those things, because Volt Switch won't do anything. Rocks was like a middle ground play, I want to say, and Hidden Power Fire is just a play if he stays in, which I very much doubt because he's Choice Banded. I have Rocky Helmet that does nothing and stuff like that. So I actually decide right here to double out into my Kyurem, trying to catch the Rotom. If he goes into Landorus, that's not a problem. I can just sack the Kyurem, get a free switch into one of my sweeping mons, and if he goes into the Rotom, I can kill that from that range or with the Earth Power. Or hopefully kill it. Basically, get it very low so that it's finally in range of Giga Drain and stuff like that from my Yanmega. Because right here, right now, he is a bit Spidef, or a good amount of Spidef even. So Giga Drain from Yanmega won't be doing much to it. So right here, I just decide to go for the Ice Beam. He does go for Earthquake, kills me, and this grants me my free switch into my Yanmega. This actually confirms now that he's Choice Scarf, so we don't have to research anymore the order of moves. This actually confirms that he's Choice Scarf, because otherwise he would be faster. That means I can go into my Yanmega right here. I don't have to protect, because obviously I'm immune to the thing, and I can just go for the Air Slash right here, getting a good amount of damage on the incoming whatever, because Air Slash would bring the Rotom in range, and it does 2-8 KO and a Choice Banded Scizor as well, like you can see right here. That is a very good amount. I can take a Bullet Punch. It does over 50%, but I can take it, but I don't really need health on Yanmega because I'll speed everything and can damage on it. He does cycle for Bullet Punch. I just have to hope for no crit, which he does not get. And I can just go for second Air Slash, hope for no miss, which I do not do. And we get rid of the Scizor, and Yanmega is looking good. It's faster than the, faster than the Scarf Landorus, and it's definitely faster than the Rotom. Sadly, it can't kill neither of those things, but that's not needed because, let me pause it right here. If he goes into Rotom, I go for Giga Drain. He goes for Volt Switch, kills me, but then I get knockoff kill. I can go for knockoff versus the. Oh wait, no. If he goes into Rotom, I would have to switch out with something because I need to keep my Yanmega alive. If he goes into Landorus right here, I just go for my Z move, bring him in range of knockoff, and then I would sweep with my Crocodile because I would either kill the. Let's just play out. I just go for the Z move right here because either I get a lot of damage on this Landorus, or he pulls a double predicting the Z move and goes into his Rotom. That means I either kill the Rotom with Giga Drain, Air Slash by Giga Drain, or I get a lot of damage on the Landorus right here. And in both scenarios, he can't win the game anymore. The only way he could have won potentially is it would have gone to Rotom right here, and I would have to switch out into my Cobalt, and he goes for Volt Switch and all this good stuff. But since he did go Landorus, that basically seals the deal right here, because I can go for the Z move, which won't kill buying a crit, which I do not get. I will die to the Stone Edge right here, but he actually misses, and yeah, these last turns are a bit of a mess on my narration part. I'm sorry for that. But yeah, let me talk about this miss first. Or let me talk in general about all the turns. So, let's bring in order again. If we would have gone into Rotom right here, I would have had to switch out, because I need my Yanmega still to not lose to Landorus, because Aqua Tail doesn't kill it from full, and he could just sweep my team with Earthquake then, because Cobalion of course is weak to it, and Crocodile takes way too much damage, and I think it's already in range. Crocodile took damage? I actually don't know. But either way, if he would have gone into Rotom, I would have had to switch out, and he could have gone potentially for Volt Switch and play basically the whole turn momentum game until at some point I'm way too weakened and he can win with some of his mons. But since he did go into Landorus, I did decide to just go for the Z move right here. Like you can see, it won't kill, I already know that in the calc, but it does a lot of damage to it, brings him in range of knockoff, and that basically now it's already GG, since my Crocodile will sweep with knockoff. Either I die right here with the Stone Edge, which is what I expected, go into Crocodile, go for knockoff, kill this guy, get my Moxie boost, and then kill the Rotom. If he switched to Rotom, I kill that with 2 knockouts, get my Moxie boost, and then I kill the Landorus as well with a neutral knockoff. So either way, it was GG right here. So thankfully that miss didn't matter, it just means that the Omega gets the kill and not my Crocodile. So I kill here right here with Giga Drain because I don't want to miss. And it might bring me out of range of a Volt Switch from the Rotom. I didn't run the calc anymore because I already knew this game was over. So yeah, get another speed boost. I'm the fastest Yanmega alive, but that's not a problem anymore because Rotom is the last one he has. And I just go for Giga Drain right here, hoping for a crit maybe to better the differential, or not, taking the Volt Switch with the more recovery I get right here. And like you can see right here, he actually does decide to go for the Volt Switch, but Yanmega is a dead Yanmega, sadly not a beast, and did not take this, so Yanmega goes down. But like I already mentioned, we still have Crocodile on the back, and since this is a Moss with Death Rotom, like he's in range of anything, I even could have got, no, wait, no, my Cobalion couldn't kill him because I'm only Flash Cannon to hit it. But I can go with my Crocodile, just go for the knockoff, and basically win this game 2-0 versus the San José Sharpedos. That is the game. GG to Tom. And let me talk a bit about this match after the screen right here is gone. And boom. There we go. So, this match was kind of a weird one because from turn 1 I was already thrown off because I was thinking, oh damn, is he Choice Scarf? I think he should be Choice Scarf from all I know. But he played in the way that it isn't, and that threw me a bit for a loop. Trying to figure out like how does the mechanic work of abilities again. Thankfully it turned out that he is Choice Scarf. But yeah, the two biggest turns, in my opinion, are one, the Rotom Living and go for Pain Split, or the 3 big turns. So 3 big turns are in this game. The Rotom Living and go for Pain Split, basically neutering the viability of my Kyurem a lot, keeping the Rotom alive. Then the Explosion from the Yancy, which was very nice on Tom's part, because basically making my Finny useless. But then on the other hand, his over prediction versus my Finny, and I could get some good damage on him, and him forcing to sack the Houndoom. Like, these are the important turns for Tom's side, like turns where he did well for his match. But then the most important turn for my match, of course, was, I think, the Pursuit Trap on the Swallow, because if Swallow would have stayed around for longer in the game, I actually don't think I could have won this game because Squirtle was just way too much of a big threat, and because of the pain split versus my Kyurem, it was way too weak, and like to take a surprise hit from the Boom Burst, it would have just died. So these, I think, are the 4 important turns in the game, and it seems the Pursuit Trap one was the biggest of them all because I managed to win the game in the end. So even the other ones, of course, helped a lot of me or helped Tom in both scenarios. In the end, it was definitely a close game, way closer than our week 1 match. So I hope you did enjoy watching this. But yeah, that is all for me, basically saying in this video. Of course, if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal. Hit me on Twitter, Facebook. Let me know in the comments what you think of this match. The Borussia Donphan start with a win into this season. The roller to the cup is on its way, on its correct track to get the championship in this season. But yeah, that's all from me. I will see you now time. Definitely check out Tom. Check out all the other guys I mentioned in the beginning. All the links in the description. But yeah, I will see you now time. Ciao.